So as we said earlier, as we interact with the world, our brains are trying to make sense of it based on past experience. We're filling in the blanks. An illusion provides a great example of that. As you look at this, the black line in the back seems much longer than the one in the front because your brain assumes it's seeing the effects of perspective. We assume everything is in 3D, in fact, because when we look at the world, unless it's on a piece of paper, it is in 3D. When you remove the background, the lines are seen to be equal. But even when we see that, our brain may have a hard time accepting that that's the fact because we want to project that perspective on there. The same is true with this little triangle example. Is the white triangle real? It appears to be because the brain automatically fills in the lines that are missing, assuming that the shape is in there. But if you block out parts of the picture, the white triangle actually vanishes. You may still be seeing it, however. Another aspect of the brain that has a big impact on what we believe to be true is our natural specialization. You may be familiar with left brain, right brain. You've seen car ads, a car for the right side of your brain and a car for the left side of your brain. The right side being more visual, conceptual, exciting, holistic. The left side being more structured, detailed, linear, and quantitative. Our research has shown that in fact we have 4 distinct areas of thinking in our brains that have a left and a right, but also an upper and a lower. We can think of this as the whole brain thinking model. We all have preferences for one or more of these quadrants, which will impact our thinking and influence our assumptions. The model is a proven resource that you can use in learning how to challenge assumptions. Which do you prefer? The blue, logical, analytical, fact-based, quantitative mode? The lower left green, organized, sequential, planned, and detailed? The lower right, interpersonal, feeling-based, kinesthetic, or emotional? Or the upper right, holistic, intuitive, integrating, and synthesizing? Most of us have preferences that straddle these 4 quadrants, but we definitely prefer some over others. The blue is often focused on facts, asking the question, what? The green on form, asking the question, how? The red on feelings and asking the question, who? And finally, the yellow more curious about the future and asking the question, why? A great way to explore our underlying assumptions is to walk around each of the different thinking quadrants to shift your brain's thinking and then challenge your assumptions. This will automatically shift your thinking and help get you out of filling in the gaps automatically. The worksheet provided will give you all you need to do this, but let's take you through the process so that you understand how it works. First, you need to determine in that upper left blue or A quadrant what the facts, numbers, and data you have that you believe are true about the situation you're looking at. In the lower left green quadrant, timing, details, history that you believe to be true. In that lower right C quadrant, intuitive thoughts, user info, and feelings that you believe to be true. And finally, in that upper right yellow quadrant or D quadrant, ideas, concepts, opportunities, and metaphors that you think are really true. The walk-around sheet that you will receive allows you to then document some of those truths and then challenge them. Let's look at a real example, a beverage company that had a product that we'll call the XYZ product that was not meeting expectations. They really need to rethink this product. They gathered to explore ideas, and so we started by defining the truths that they had in each quadrant. In the blue quadrant, a truth was, well, we can't really change the price. In the green quadrant, well, a truth that we believe to be is that the product is called this. This is true. In the red quadrant, our customers do not want us to change. That was a truth that they held. And in the yellow quadrant, our current brand image is what makes our success, so maybe we need to stick with that. Then they needed to reverse that by asking the question, what if? What if it is not true? What if it's not true that the price cannot be changed? It's not true that the product is called XYZ. It's not true that our customers do not want us to change. And it's not true that our current brand image makes our success. That's that critical piece. What if it is not true? Then you can start looking at ways to understand what your options might be. The price can be changed. The product can be called anything we want. Our customers want us to change, and our current brand image does not make our success. So here's some ideas that emerged. In the blue, let's raise the price, lower the price, change our pricing model altogether. In the green, let's rename the product. Let's call it something really cool, different names for the same product. In the red, let's ask our customers what they want. Try walking in their shoes in the store, or find totally different customers. And finally, in the yellow, let's totally change the brand image. Hire a new agency to help us out, or think about the brand 5 years out. Now, what about how you might use this? This was a group, and many of you are probably doing much of your innovation work in teams. So let's talk about how you might use this in a team setting. I love this cartoon that talks about how annoying it can be to work in a group. Together, everyone annoys me. We know from our 25 of research that preferences further influence, again, what we pay attention to, and that bringing together different preferences can have, of course, a significant impact. Our data has shown that heterogeneous groups, the picture on the right with lots of different profiles, are capable of significantly greater creative output than unbalanced or homogeneous groups, as you see depicted on the left. These are actual profiles using the Herrmann Brain Dominance Instrument, which is the way we measure an individual's thinking styles. A 6-year study with the U.S. Forest Service actually showed that whole brain teams are 66% more effective, and 70% or more of those teams were successful when they were whole-brained. So you want to take advantage of difference by bringing together different perspectives. One way to naturally challenge your own assumptions is to work with others that see the world differently than you do. But be aware, our research also found that you want a maximum of 7 people in your group and at least 1 whole brain thinker to ensure that the different perspectives get heard and that assumptions get challenged. So what assumptions are you and your organization making? You want to look at ways that you can reverse those assumptions. How do you see if they're correct or not? This is not always easy because, assumptions are so integral to our thinking process that we often can't even recognize them. So you might think about a decision that you've made recently and ask yourself 2 questions. How confident am I in my original assumptions and truths? What were those assumptions? And finally, if I had reversed those assumptions or truths, what impact would that have had on my decision and my ability to think differently about the challenge I was facing? Bottom line is we need to engage our brains in a different way to challenge those assumptions. So here's a simple 4-step process you can use in using the worksheet to really take advantage of the brain power you have available. Identify a challenge you need to work on. Use the worksheet provided either as an individual, small group, or team to list all of the truths you believe about it, the assumptions you have, and you can use the 4 quadrants to prompt your thinking. Then take each assumption and reverse it, asking, what if this were not true? Coming up with a new truth statement that's the reverse of your original assumption. Then see what ideas emerge in each quadrant. Remember, it's important to have fun with this because you may be a little uncomfortable in challenging those truths. I think a great metaphor for what assumptions do to our thinking is that they cloud our thinking. As you see in this picture of the Earth from the sky, you can't see all of the different parts of the Earth because the clouds are blocking your view. We have to work hard to overcome our brain's natural tendency to cloud our thinking by filling in the gaps based on our perceived truths. By challenging assumptions, reversing them, and using a whole brain approach, you can remove the clouds from your thinking and innovate with much greater success, just as this collage photograph of the Earth, as it would appear on a cloudless day, shows you. So go forth and challenge those assumptions, and good luck. If you'd like any more information on whole brain thinking, to receive a brain dominance profile, or to get copies of the studies referenced in this module, please contact our world headquarters at the address provided or visit www.hbdi.com. Thanks again, and good luck.